You've tried engaging on LinkedIn. Maybe not a lot, but you've commented here and there. So why does it feel like you're shouting into the void? Why do your comments disappear while other people seem to get noticed? Here's the problem. You're commenting on the wrong posts. And today, from one practicing CPA to another, I'm going to show you exactly who you should be targeting instead. And to explain this, let's talk about everyone's favorite place, cocktail parties. I know if you're anything like me, you just love these. Awkwardly standing there with your drink, sipping it to fill the silence as you scan the room trying to look like you're perfectly relaxed, while your mind is desperately searching for a safe harbor in the storm, or for the least scary looking group of strangers so you can stand on the periphery of their conversation and listen in. Now, LinkedIn works exactly like a cocktail party, except you can relax in your pajamas and no one can see how much you're sweating. Back to the party. You got little groups everywhere, and in each group, there's one person doing most of the talking. They started the conversation. Everyone else is mostly just listening, nodding, maybe laughing at the right moments, making sounds of agreement, but not saying much. That's LinkedIn in a nutshell. The person posting is the one talking. Everyone else, and this is well over 90% of users, they're just standing around listening. Now you want to find new clients, and you remember all the sage advice from well-meaning friends and family, and even colleagues. They all say the same thing. Just put yourself out there. Start engaging. You never know. So you're at this cocktail party, you psych yourself up, and start walking toward a group. You have no idea who they are or what they're talking about, but you're determined to engage anyway. So you approach. And it's a group of accountants dissecting the latest tax updates in excruciating detail. No potential clients here, but you remember the typical advice. And you get in a word in edgewise, one you're actually proud of. Now you feel good about yourself and enjoy your drink as your heart rate comes down and you settle in listening to what is music to your ears, the sound of other accountants going on about tax. Does this sound familiar? Your LinkedIn feed is the same thing. The algorithm sees the topics and the people you engage with and serves up more of the same. This is why for most CPAs, their feed is an accounting echo chamber. And commenting on whatever the algorithm serves up for you is just like approaching random groups of people at a cocktail party. Random conversations, random people, random results. So what's the alternative? What if you knew exactly which groups to approach? I think about this as 3 circles. Dream prospects. These are people who could directly become your clients. Referral partners. These are the people who serve the same clients you do, but don't compete. They can send you business for years. And audience owners. These are the people who've already built the audience you want. Now, this third group is what kids these days call influencers. But we're accountants and we're not talking Instagram here, so let's stick with audience owners. They own the audience. When you engage with their content, you're just borrowing their stage. Think of these like a Venn diagram. Some accountants sit in multiple circles. An audience owner who's also a potential referral partner, that's gold. And each circle deserves its own strategy, and that is very much a deep dive for another day. Today, we're going to be focusing on audience owners. Why? Well, because they're the starting point that unlocks the other two. Now, here's where it gets counterintuitive. You want clients, so your instinct is to prioritize dream prospects, the people who could hire you directly. But here's the problem. Most of them are lurkers. They're not posting. So where exactly are you going to comment? Audience owners, on the other hand, they post consistently. They have to. That's how they built their audience in the first place. And their posts get seen by hundreds or thousands of people, including your dream prospects and your potential referral partners. Think about it from this side. When a stranger reaches out, the first thing they do is check your profile. But if they've already seen your name in the comments of someone they trust, now you're not a stranger anymore. You're that accountant who always has something helpful to say. You're building recognition so that when you do connect with a prospect or partner, they've already seen your name before. You're not coming in cold. You've been warming them up without even knowing it. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room. There's something almost physically uncomfortable about the idea of commenting on the same person's posts repeatedly. That voice in your head, which goes, I don't want them to think I'm a parasite. I know that voice well, and it keeps a lot of us invisible for years. Here's what I've learned. Being recognized is the goal, but for the right reasons. Think of it like being a regular at a coffee shop. The barista recognizes you, not because you're annoying, but because you tip well, you don't hold up the line, and you're genuinely nice. She's happy when you walk in because she knows you're going to add a little value to her day. That's what you're aiming for with audience owners. You want them to see your name and think, oh good, they showed up. Not, oh no, them again. The difference is value versus noise. Reply guys say, great post, and so true. Value adders contribute insights, ask thoughtful questions, share relevant experience. And good comments actually help their post perform better, so it is a win-win for both. And here's a practical tip. Rotate between your audience owners. Don't comment on every single post from one person. Hit one post, move to the next account, come back in a few days. You want some natural variety so that you're a welcome regular, not someone who's hovering. And not every audience owner is a good target. Just because someone has 10,000 followers doesn't mean they're right for you. Here are 3 filters in order of importance. Relevant audience. Their followers should overlap with your target market. 1 million followers means nothing if they're all in the wrong industry. Active posting. You need consistent opportunities to engage. If someone posted 3 times in the last year, they're probably not as useful. Look for people posting regularly. Though, what regularly means really does depend on your niche. Third, engagement-worthy content. They need to post content you can actually comment on meaningfully. If it's just motivational quotes or vacation photos, it's really hard to add value to that. Look for insights, industry issues, questions, that sort of stuff. And strategic alignment over big numbers, every time. So how do you actually find these people? Think about your ideal client. Put yourself in their shoes. Who speaks at their conferences? Who do they already follow on LinkedIn? And who's the voice in adjacent services? Think coaches, consultants, software vendors, people who serve your clients but don't compete with you. If that's too abstract, get specific. Think of a few of your favorite clients, people you'd love to have more of. Who do they follow? Think groups, conferences, authors, coaches, vendors, and more. The litmus test is simple. Would this post appear in my ideal client's feed? If the answer is no, don't bother commenting. And here's a crazy strategy most accountants will never do. Just ask your clients directly. I love working with you and want more clients like you. Who do you follow on LinkedIn? Yes, it's also a natural moment to ask for a referral, which is even better. Now, full disclosure, this step is significantly easier if you're niche focused by industry. There's usually an entire ecosystem already talking to your exact audience. They are not hard to find. If you're more geographic or service line focused, you'll have to be a little more creative and work a bit harder on finding issues that connect with your target market. But the strategy still works. Now, if you're watching this and you're thinking to yourself, I'm not even sure who my ideal client is, you are definitely not alone. I think a lot of us were trained with a service mindset to help anyone who walked through the door. So here's an even simpler question. Who do you actually enjoy working with? Not who you should serve, but what type of client would you absolutely love more of? Start there. And let's just take all the pressure off. Commenting on someone's posts doesn't commit you to anything. You're not locking in the future direction of your firm. You're just showing up somewhere on the internet where people who might need an accountant are paying attention. That's it. This is experimentation, not a life sentence. Here's what I would do. And I would do it right now before this tab becomes one of 47 that you will never go back to. Open LinkedIn, find 5 audience owners. Not 50, not 20, just 5. Then apply the filters. Is this audience your target market? Are they posting consistently? Can you meaningfully engage with their content? These 5 are your starting lineup. This is where you're going to focus your limited LinkedIn time. Not random scrolling, not chasing viral posts. These 5 accounts. Write them down somewhere. Could be a note on your phone, could be a sticky note, doesn't really matter. But make it a list that you can see when you open LinkedIn tomorrow. The workflow from here is simple. Check their profiles for new posts. When you see something you can add value to, add value. Then close LinkedIn. You are done for the day. And here's the thing. You don't need to be everywhere. Show up consistently in 5 places and people will start recognizing you. That's all you need to stop being a stranger. And if you can't find 5, then start with 2. The number matters less than the decision to be intentional. So now you know who to target, audience owners, the people who have access to your ideal clients. But knowing who to comment on is only half the battle. In the next video, I'm going to show you what to actually say. Because great post isn't going to cut it. For now, go build your list of 5 audience owners. Write them down, and next time you open LinkedIn, you'll actually know what you're doing there. And if you've actually written down your 5, or even just 2, I'm genuinely proud of you. I know this stuff isn't easy for a lot of us, but it's really high leverage work. So good luck, and I'll talk to you again soon.